Hello everyone. In our previous video, that is part 1, we have discussed about contact forces, which is a force which can be exerted by an object on another object only through physical touching or only through coming in contact with each other. And one of the example of contact force also we have discussed, which was muscular force. The force exerted by the muscle of the body is called muscular force. And today we are going to discuss about another contact force. So, what can be the another contact force that we can talk of is the force of friction. So, at very first we will try to understand that what is force of friction. A ball is moving on the ground, slows down gradually and stops after covering some distance. We know that a force is required to stop a moving body. This means that a force is exerted by the ground on the moving ball which opposes its motion and brings it to a stop. This force which opposes the motion of ball on the ground is known as frictional force. We can now define the frictional force as the force which always opposes the motion of one body over another body. That force is called frictional force or just friction. The frictional force acts between two surfaces which are in contact with each other. A ball moving on the ground slows down and then stops due to frictional force between the ball and the ground. In this case, two surfaces are in contact. That is, one is the surface of the ground and second is the surface of the ball. So, frictional force is also known as force of friction, force of friction or just friction. When we push a box lying on the floor with a small amount of force, what happens? It does not move at all. It means that the surface of floor on which the box is resting exerts some force on the box which acts in a direction opposite to the force of the push. In other words, understand this like some force is acting at the bottom of the stationary box which opposes its motion, due to which the box does not move. This natural force between the floor and the bottom of the box which opposes the motion of box on the floor is called friction. Okay, so the force exerted by the ground on the moving ball and the force exerted by the ground on the box, both are opposing its motion and both brings it to a stop. So this force which opposes the motion of the ball and which opposes the motion of the box on the ground is known as friction. So again we can define friction as, or the force of friction as, the force which always opposes the motion of one object over another object in contact with it is called friction. Friction will always occur between two surfaces which are in contact with each other. For example, when we are pushing the heavy box kept on the floor, the force of friction occurs between the surface of the floor and the bottom of the box. And in the case of the rolling ball, when the ball is rolling on the ground, the friction occurs between the surface of ground and the surface of the ball. In fact, the friction acts on both the surfaces in contact with each other. The friction is a force which occurs when two objects tend to slide over each other, and even when they are actually sliding or they are actually moving over each other. Now we will try to understand the direction of force of friction. We all know that the force of friction always opposes the motion of one object over another object. So, the force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction in which the object moves or just tends to move. Let us understand this with the help of one activity. What you have to do is you have to place a book on a table and just give a push to this book towards the right side. What you will find that the book moves through some distance to the right side and then stops. Since the book moving towards right side stops on its own, it means what? It means that the force of friction is acting on it in the opposite direction. That means the force of friction acting on the book towards left, which is opposing its motion and making it stop. Thus, when the force is applied by our push to move the book toward right side, then the force of friction acts towards left side, that is the opposite direction of the motion of the book. Now, again what you have to do is you have to just push the book toward the left side. Now what will happen? You will find that the book moves some distance toward the left side and then again it will stop. Since the book moving toward left side stop on its own, it means what? Again it means that the force of friction is acting on it. In which direction it is acting? In the direction opposite. That means towards the right, which is opposite its motion and which is opposing its motion and making it stop. Thus, we can say that when the force is applied by our push to move the book toward right or toward left, what happens? It gets stopped. That means the force of friction is acting in the opposite direction to the motion of the book. So, what we have observed, same activity we can perform with the help of rock also. The force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction of motion of an object. If suppose when the motion of the object will be in right direction, then the force of friction will act in left direction. The force when you are pushing the book towards the right direction, then the force of friction acting on it toward the left side, and when you were pushing the book in left side, the force of friction acting on the book is toward the right side. This is why the force of friction always opposes the motion of the object. Because the force of friction opposes the motion of the book on the surface of table, and it also it is opposing the force opposing the motion of the big piece of rock. The force of friction occurs between the surface of the table and the surface of the book in touch with each other. Like here also, the surface of the rock and surface of the ground are in touch with each other. In this case, when we are writing on a paper with a pen, what is happening? In this case also, the pen and the paper are in contact with each other. So we are able to write on the paper. Let us see some more example from our everyday life where the frictional force is involved. Walking on ice. Less friction is between the shoes and the ice. So we are not very comfortable when we are walking on ice. Walking on the road is easier than walking on the ice because the surface of the ice is very smooth. That is why we are not able to walk properly on the ice, and walking on the road is very much easier because the surface of the road is rough. The treads on tires prevent skidding when driving. The treads, you must have seen this, the treads are provided on the tires which prevents skidding when we are driving any vehicle. The soles of shoes have treads to help you walk without slipping or sliding. You must have seen that in your shoes, in your soles of the shoes, treads are there which prevents you from slipping. Whereas the soles of the ballet shoes have no treads. Why it is having no treads? To help the dancers slide their feet. Similarly, in this also you can see that the wheels are rolling forward and the friction is resisting the sliding. There is a push on the wheel and the friction resists the sliding of the tire. Why? Because the treads are provided in the tire. So we can safely, by seeing all these examples, we can safely say that the force of friction is indeed a contact force. But is contact between the object necessary for the force to act between them? We will see that in the next video. Thank you.